Lipstick. So today I am filming my 2015 Best of Drugstore video. I will be doing one of these videos for luxury products as well, but we're going to start out with drugstore. And I want to point out, first of all, these are not products that necessarily came out in 15, but they're products that I really either discovered or absolutely loved in 2015. So let's just get started. I'm going to start in, well, the order that I do my face. So I guess we'll start with primer. So first of all, I want to talk about the NYX Angel Veil Primer. This, I did a video on that I talked about this versus the Hourglass Mineral Veil Primer. I found that this primer is actually better for my skin type than the Hourglass Mineral Veil because this one is more hydrating. They're very similar in texture, but if you have oily skin, you might want to go with the Hourglass Mineral Veil. It's more expensive. And for me, having super dry skin, this one worked out better. So I absolutely love this. It gives a beautiful velvety texture. It's a fantastic primer. Next up, we are on to foundation. So I have quite a few foundations to show you. This first one is no surprise. This is the Fit Me Matte and Poreless Foundation. I prefer the Matte and Poreless because it does run a little bit lighter than the Dewy and Smooth foundation. So this one matches me perfectly as far as skin tone. I just love this. It gives a beautiful finish. Even though it's matte and poreless, this one does have a bit of dew to it. So it's not a completely matte formulation like, say, the L'Oreal Infallible is, or MAC Studio Fix. It's not like that. This does have some shine to it and some dew, but it's not overwhelming. It's kind of like a beautiful satin finish. But it works really, really well, super long lasting, beautiful coverage. It's a fantastic foundation. Next up, very similar to that, is the Ready Set Gorgeous Foundation by CoverGirl. This is another one that has a beautiful, like, satiny finish. Covers so well. It just looks absolutely gorgeous. It says oil-free, fresh complexion. I do feel like when I wear this, I do look very awake, and my skin looks very alive and just clean, and it's a fantastic foundation as well. Next up is another CoverGirl foundation that I discovered, I think, back in October, and I've been loving it ever since. That's the CoverGirl Outlast Stay Fabulous 3-in-1 foundation. All of these I've done reviews and demos on, so I'll link you to those below if you want to check them out. But this one is great. This one had really, really great coverage, and it lasted forever. I was really impressed with the lasting power of this. I believe I wore it for almost 12 hours in the video, and if you go check that out, you'll see that it just doesn't fade. It looked absolutely beautiful, so I am loving this foundation. I think it's fantastic. Another foundation that I love, especially for pictures, is the Revlon Photo Ready foundation. I believe that this is kind of supposed to be a dupe for the Makeup Forever HD foundation. They're very similar, like, for what they're supposed to do is be photo type of foundations. I really like this one. I think it's fantastic. The only downside too is it doesn't give quite as much coverage as I would like. The Makeup Forever one does give quite a bit more coverage, but this is so beautiful. Like, if you don't have a lot of acne marks and you have relatively good skin, this is going to be absolutely gorgeous because it photographs so well, and it even looks beautiful in person. It has a very small micro shimmer in it, and when you get outside in the light, you look like you're glistening. It's absolutely gorgeous. Another foundation that I did just kind of mention a little bit ago is the L'Oreal Infallible foundation. This is a great demi-matte foundation, so it's not completely matte. It has a little bit of luminosity to it, but not overly. And it's great for people with dry skin. It doesn't cling to dry patches. It doesn't look gross, at least in what I've experienced. It's a great foundation, very full coverage, fantastic for those days that I'm having like breakouts and stuff. Works so well. I absolutely love this. And the last foundation I have to talk about is the Revlon Color Stay Whipped foundation. This is so good. It has a beautiful satin finish. Looks very, very pretty in pictures. It's got kind of a like moussey gel texture. I really like it a lot. I think it's great for my dry skin. It doesn't look patchy. It's just a beautiful, beautiful product. Next, we'll talk about face powders. This is the Rimmel Stay Matte Pressed Powder. This is fantastic for setting your makeup without making it look cakey because it's so fine. It's just a beautiful, like, silky powder that just, it doesn't really sit on the skin. It almost kind of like melds with your foundation. It looks absolutely beautiful. I also just realized that I missed a primer, so let's go back to that. Technically this is a primer and serum. This is the NYX Tea Tree Balance Primer and Serum. I love this for my acne prone skin because it works as kind of like a multi-purpose product. It's very moisturizing. It gives my face kind of like a more luminous, fresh look. It also works as an antibacterial, so it helps combat the acne and also makes it so you won't have acne underneath your makeup that day. So it's a fantastic product. I love it. It works really well to combat redness. I think it's fantastic. All right, back to face powder. I also have this one to show you, which is a Physicians Formula face powder. This is their Mineral Wear Talc Free Foundation. It's a little bit too dark for me, so I tend to just wear this in the summer, but it's, again, another like really finely milled silky powder that when you put it on over your foundation, it does not look cakey or chalky ever. It looks beautiful. Next up, let's move on to blush, and I just have one blush to show you, and this is the CoverGirl Classic Color Blush. I love the CoverGirl blushes. I think they're so pigmented. I love the way they smell. It's a very like old school smell. It reminds me of when I was younger and just trying out makeup. I love it. But they're so pigmented and they're beautiful. This one is actually like a nude color. So this is called Natural Glow. It is very, very nude, so I wear it for more like colorful looks. Like if I'm going crazy on the eyes and lips, I'll do something like this. Fantastic blushes. Love the Cheekers blushes as well. So pigmented, so good. Next, on to highlight, and this is like my all-time favorite natural highlight. This is one of those highlights that you put on your face and it doesn't look like one of those like really stark blunt highlights. It's a very natural one where it looks like your face is just glowing and beautiful, and that is the Wet n Wild Fergie collection highlights. The one I have is in Rose Champagne Glow. It's a pink based highlight. As you can see, it's got all these beautiful like colors swirled in there. There's like pink and champagne and orange and some white. It's a really gorgeous highlight. It's so natural. I just can't get over how beautiful this is, and it's drugstore and it's so cheap. Look how big this is, and it's super cheap. It's around $5, I believe. Next up, we'll talk about concealer, and the first one I have is this NYX HD Concealer. I absolutely love this. This works really well with my foundations that are a little bit dewy and satiny, where they're not super matte. This, I definitely like to use my finger though to blend it in, because if you use a beauty blender or a brush, it tends to suck up some product, and I find that this is a little bit more sheer. It's not heavy duty coverage for my dark circles. So I just use my finger to blend it in, and it gives me a gorgeous under eye highlight, conceals. I am wearing it today, so that's what's on down there. It's a really great product. It just looks so pretty. It looks like skin. It never looks cakey. It doesn't crease, as long as I set it right away. But this is a great product as well. And it comes in a wide range of colors. This one actually has a porcelain that matches my skin beautifully. Next up is, I've talked about this a lot, it's the Physicians Formula Concealer Stick. It comes in like a lipstick tube form concealer. It's a very messy product, I'll give you that. Like once you start to get down to the end, it'll bend and it gets kind of all over. But I love this. It works excellently on the face to cover up acne marks. It's thick but still really creamy, so you can use it on your under eyes. I tend to do that when I'm having really dark purple circles under my eyes, because this works amazingly well to cover it up, and it's not cakey. It doesn't look gross under the eyes. It doesn't crease either. It's very, very creamy. So I absolutely love this. Next up is eyebrows, and I wanted to mention my e.l.f. eyebrow kit. This is so good. I just love it. I always use powders on my eyebrows though. I know not everyone does. People tend to rave about like the eyebrow pencils from Anastasia and stuff like that. So but I like the way that brow powder looks. It looks a little bit more natural. I don't need a lot of structure because I have dark hair and naturally full eyebrows. So I just like to use a nice powder to kind of fill them in. Anywhere I need more darkness or want to set them, I use the wax, and then I'll go over it with an eyebrow gel. And speaking of eyebrow gel, I have this Elizabeth Mott Queen of the Fill eyebrow gel. This is my absolute favorite. I got this from an Ipsy bag, and it's fantastic. This one I have is in medium dark. It comes with a very small like brush to just comb through those eyebrow hairs. It really helps set them, and it also adds some color, so it helps you add some fullness if you don't have a lot of eyebrow hair. Next up is a mascara. You guys know that I love this mascara. It is the CoverGirl Supersizer Mascara. I think it's just fantastic. I know a lot of people hate the brush because it is a plastic brush, but I was a little afraid of it at first, but I love it. I think it distributes the product really well, helps comb out the lashes really well, and I think it's a great formula. There's honestly nothing bad I can say about this mascara. I use it on my top and bottom lashes. It doesn't clump them. It's just a really great one. I definitely recommend it. So I'm going to talk about this lip liner. This in general, the Jordanna lip liners are fantastic. This one is in Sedona Red, but I love these because they're super creamy. I did use it today for my lipstick just to draw out the shape of my lips, and it works really well. It's like the softest lip liner I've ever felt. I don't like those super hard lip liners. And what's great about this though too is that even though it's super soft and creamy, it never like goes outside the lip line. It doesn't feather or anything like that or get smudgy and messy. So I'm really impressed with these. These are super cheap. I get mine at Walgreens, I think for like $1. Next up are the Rimmel ShowOff lip lacquers. I have the matte ones, which are the Lip Velvet mattes, and then the ShowOff lip lacquers. I love both formulations of these. The color selection is just beautiful. There's not a insane amount of colors to choose from, but the ones that they do have are really kind of versatile. There's bright ones, there's soft ones, there's nudes, there's pinks, wide variety, and I think that if you go into a store you would find at least one that you like. But I love both formulations of these. I think they're very pretty. The lip lacquers come in like just soft, kind of glossy finishes, and sometimes they have sparkle in them. This one in particular has sparkle. This is the only one I have that has sparkle. Got this in a Walmart beauty box. I love all of them. I think they're fantastic. I did have a swatch video up, and I'll link that below as well. And the other lip product I want to talk about is the Revlon Color Burst Balms. Also have a video about these. These are fantastic. Like, the pigmentation of these for being a balm is insane. These are lipstick quality, and they're super moisturizing. They feel like lip balm, and they never dry out my lips. They also don't fade like terribly fast. They last pretty well. They don't feather outside the lip line. These are beautiful products. These are my favorite like balm type of products that I find in the drugstore. My favorite brand, so that's the Revlon ones. Next up is the Real Techniques Beauty Sponge. I like this better than the Beauty Blender. I have a Beauty Blender. I love it. I think it's great, but I just like the shape of this a little bit more. I like how squishy it is. The Beauty Blender is a little bit more squishy, but I don't love the shape of it. I prefer this because this is dry, so obviously when you get it wet, it gets much bigger. But it's got this really like large flat side, and I also like the shape of the pointed end. It's not quite as pointy as the Beauty Blender, and I like that because it helps me get into the under eye a little bit better for my face shape. So I think that this is a really great product. It's only like $5. I get mine in a 2-pack, and it's cost me like $7. Fantastic. I think I get them from Walmart. Yeah. Next up are setting sprays, and these are my last two products to show you. First of all is the L'Oreal Infallible Setting Spray. This does have alcohol in it, so it can be very drying, especially if you have dry skin. But I find that I have dry skin, and it works really well to keep my makeup in place. It does feel a little bit dry because of the alcohol, but I don't feel like it looks dry. So I really like this. This is actually empty, but it's a great product. And lastly, my absolute favorite makeup setting spray, which is so cheap. I get mine off of Amazon. This is the Ben Nye Final Seal Makeup Setting Spray. It's got a minty smell to it. It's wonderful. I used it today on my makeup. It says it's a matte makeup sealer, but as you can see, my makeup is not matte, so it doesn't like mattify your face if you're not using matte foundations and stuff. This is fantastic. I cannot rave about this enough. It makes my makeup last a ridiculously long time. It's just insane how long it lasts. Such a good product, so impressed with it, and it's super cheap. I believe I got this on Amazon for about $7. Yeah. So those were all my absolute favorite drugstore products of 2015. I know there's so many more drugstore products that I like, but I just really wanted to put my absolute favorites in this video to show you. These are like my ride or die kind of products. These are the ones that I go to all the time and use almost on a daily basis. Obviously, I don't use this many products on a daily basis, but these are my favorites. They're so good. So yeah, I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please let me know if you do one of these videos because I'd really like to check it out. I'm always looking to explore new makeup products. So yeah, just let me know down in the comment section below. As I said, all of these products will be listed in the info box, so if I ran through them too quickly, they'll be down there in the info section. And I will link all the videos that I referenced as well. So I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching and have a great day.